This story would begin several years after the Tournament of Power. Whis was heading through the vast universe towards planet Earth. The angel would have free time to train Goku and Vegeta, which had been asked a few months ago. Upon arrival, the angel would begin to look for both Saiyans. Upon arrival, he would go to look for Goku, who seemed to be missing. Whis would knock on the door, but no one answered. "Mr. Goku," Whis noted, "it's time to train, there's no time to lose," the angel would exclaim while he kept knocking on the door. There was Gohan, who is sleeping. He was surprised to see the angel. Gohan would cordially greet the deity. "Wow, Mr. Whis, what a surprise. I'm sorry my dad is not found at the moment and will be busy for several days," Gohan noted. Whis was surprised. "How strange. Training with me is something primordial for him," Whis noted, thinking. "Remember that my training is only once a year. What happens is that he is on honeymoon with my mother since they celebrated their anniversary. My dad didn't want to go, but my mom forced him." "Go, I understand," Whis noted. The angel said goodbye and go look for Vegeta. He would disappear in a second from Gohan's sight. "Those angelic beings have the ability to teleport without finding any key," Gohan noted, surprised. "Whis would find Prince Saiyan halfway there. Dende warned me that you would come today to go train. I barely noticed that you were walking around here and I came right away," Saiyan remarked. "That's right. I came to look for both of them to go train, but Goku was not there." Vegeta noted, "Apparently Kakarot is with his wife," the annoying prince noted, which would put his hand on the angel's shoulder. This is how Whis would go to train with Vegeta at the temple. As Gohan had said, Goku was celebrating his anniversary with Chi-Chi. Goku would complain when he felt the presence of Vegeta, and Whis, who had already gone by means of teleportation. "We are on our anniversary and you thinking about training," Chi-Chi said, annoying. "I'm sorry, Chi-Chi," Goku noted, "that we were talking. Now it's time to go for a walk on the beach together." Goku would feel that's how the Saiyan would continue on honeymoon with his wife. In the temple of Zeno-sama, we can see that Grand Priest felt something painful in his stomach. The angel had even had dizziness and pain several days ago, something strange coming from beings as powerful as angels. "Do you feel good, Grand Priest?" Zeno-sama questioned. "A few days ago I noticed something painful. You know that you are one of the few who can trust." "It's nothing. I'm fine, sir," Grand Priest said. "What happens is that lately I've been traveling through different dimensions. The radiation from those places apparently affected me." Zeno-sama would worry. She knew that when the angels felt painful it had to be something serious, since the state of health of those beings were perfect. A few days had passed there and the situation did not improve. The angel continued decomposed, and the headache seemed more recurrent. This is how the great priest, by orders of Zeno-sama, would have to rest. "As you heard," Zeno-sama remarked to the guards, "Grand Priest got sick, and we don't know to what extent it can be serious." "It is the first time, sir, that the great priest is sick," the disconcerted guards remarked. Zeno-sama would emphasize. "I must admit that I'm a little afraid, sir," one of the guards remarked. "That's right, that's why I always tell them to be careful with the radiation that is spread in other realities, since these are not under my control. An excess of that radiation can affect any being in this universe, no matter how powerful it is." The Zeno-sama guards would emphasize, the rumors of the disease of the great priest would reach all sectors. This was taken advantage of by some demon beings who fed on generating chiatsu in the universes and destruction of planets. Among them was the demon called Trex, which was one of the 100 demons that had the ability to absorb life with the destruction of planets. Without Grand Priest on my way is a great time to start absorbing energy and exterminate several worlds that I have as a goal. Trex noted, which began to emanate an evil power. Trex was one of the most fearsome demons that, like Moro, absorbed the energy of entire planets. At the same time, we see Zeno-sama and Grand Priest gathered, which was lying down resting. They was talking about that other evil beings could take advantage of the absence of the position of Great Priest to generate universal imbalance, something that the God and the Great Priest would know by experience. I have good and bad news, Grand Priest, Zeno-sama remarked. Tell me, Mr. Zeno, what happens? The bad thing is that the disease you have is difficult for me to solve with my power, because you are affected by radiation from other dimensions which I have not created. The good thing is that you will be fine. I do not feel that it is something serious. I understand, sir, I assumed. Anyway, now I feel a little better. I will only do a few more days of rest, Grand Priest said, which seemed to improve. By the way, sir, remember that there are evil beings that take advantage of these moments that I am weak. I know. That's why I was thinking of a momentary alternative. What do you mean, Mr. Zeno? While you rest and recover, someone must take your place. We cannot be without the work of a great priest. Everyone must know immediately that there is another subject occupying that position. I understand, sir, but who creates that can occupy such a position? No one in this universe has my skills. I was thinking of another angel, but that would generate an imbalance for the universe of said angel. The best is that a powerful subject or warrior occupy this position that is little known, so he cannot be a destructive god. What do you think, Jiren, sir? He has the personality and discipline to occupy this position. Zeno-sama was in doubt. At that moment, the guards would appear. How are you, Goku? I remember you had a lot of fun with that subject. Zeno-sama would smile when he remembered Goku. This is not for fun, remarked Grand Priest. Wait, they are right. Goku is perfect for this position. Grand Priest would doubt. Well, sir, if you affirm it, then it was the best option. That's how Zeno-sama would already have decided who would occupy the position of Great Priest. As expected, new rumors would reach the demon Krex, who would find out that another being would occupy the position of Grand Priest. Sir, new news are coming from the sector of the deities. Apparently, there is another powerful subject to occupy the position of Grand Priest. They know him as Goku. Trex was surprised. He did not know that another being would reach the level of Grand Priest. I don't think, sir, another subject has powers similar to the Grand Priest. Think a little. Maybe it is to distract attention and make us believe that there is another being as powerful as the Grand Priest. Obviously, they cannot take long to occupy that position. What do you mean, sir? That subject called Goku is a bait to make us believe all the demons that have another deity like Grand Priest, but I doubt it. I can affirm that that subject is not even a god. Wow, sir, well thought out, the soldier noted. The deduction he made is perfect. How could I be so blind? It is a matter of thinking a little, my dear soldier. Now take care of listing my ship. Where are you going, sir? I will go to look for that subject called Goku and kill him before he occupies the position. I suppose they have located him. That's right, sir. He lives in the North Galaxy on a planet called Earth. It was not difficult to locate him. This is how the powerful demon would leave for Earth. I will be the first to welcome the new Grand Priest, exclaimed the demon. He was surprised to begin to feel some considerable ki for that galaxy. I did not have much knowledge of that galactic sector, Trex wondered. For his part, Zeno-sama would call the guards.
The time has come for them to depart for planet Earth.
Why, sir, that site is several universes away. Are they stupid? Zeno-sama remarked. They have to go look for Goku. I'm sorry, sir. We had forgotten. We will go immediately. They will not pretend to go without my help. It would take weeks to arrive, the god remarked, which would open a dimensional portal to Universe 7, which would allow the guards to arrive in just a few hours. Thank you, sir, the guards remarked, which would cross the portal and begin to travel through Universe 7 to planet Earth. Both Supreme Guards would have arrived in just 40 minutes to planet Earth and would begin to look for Goku. It seems that the Saiyan is with a strange woman. It is not a strange, silly woman. It is his partner. They have been married for many years. Perfect. Go and tell them what happened. You know how to express yourself better than I would say one of the guards. No, go you usually like people better. Let's both go. They would both ascend and approach the Saiyan. There was Goku and Chi-Chi, who was on their romantic date. Goku would turn his gaze, since he would hear some strange noises. He would get scared when he saw both deities. Chi-Chi would throw herself to the ground, thinking they were thieves. Do not worry, Chi-Chi. I know these subjects are the custodians of the great Zeno-sama. Who the hell is Zeno-sama? Chi-Chi said angry. We have said that no training. They seem to be the Supreme Guards, Goku noted, surprised. Goku would greet both guardians. Both guards would tell the situation to the Saiyan, so it was of utmost importance to take him immediately to the sacred temple of Zeno-sama. Goku would have no choice but to go, since it was an explicit request from God. This is how the Saiyan would have to explain to Chi-Chi, which was very angry. The guards, seeing the situation, would take the time to take Chi-Chi to her house. They would take my husband, Chi-Chi said. Now he is our husband, the guards remarked. I take better care of myself. In this way, Goku would make Chi-Chi reflect. This is how he noted goodbye and leave with the guardians. For his part, we see that Vegeta would have arrived at Veal's temple to train. Mr. Veal knows who arrived, I would ask Ulysses, excited. The destructive god was sleeping. Vegeta and Ulysses would approach the temple where they would see that Veal was snoring. Typical of that lazy cat, Vegeta noted. What have you said? Veal remarked, which would suddenly appear behind the Saiyan. Vegeta was surprised. Come on, Mr. Veal, it's time to train. Vegeta wants to learn some new movements and needs an opponent to train. Train if you want, I must keep sleeping. You know that sometimes I take 2 days to rest. I feared that, said Ulysses. Let him sleep, maybe he's afraid to face me. Veal would get angry with Vegeta's sayings. Ulysses, bring me my flaming destructive god suit. I will show this Saiyan who is afraid. Pure talk, I wait for you outside, Vegeta noted, which would go out to the courtyard for a fight with the destructive god. You know, Ulysses, I don't know when these Saiyans trusted me. It's time to start giving them a corrective to show them who rules. They cannot lack respect in that way for a destructive god. It is as well as a fight between Veal and Vegeta was about to begin. The atmosphere was heated. Gentlemen, remember not to throw powers to the temple, because it was filled with dust and they should clean it, I would say, Ulysses seriously. Both would agree. Vegeta would not waste time and would load a huge key. This was thrown against the destructive god and a battle between both would break out. The fight was even. Veal was surprised by the level of the Saiyan. Vegeta would hit Veal by making the destructive god fall. "Wow, that was a big hit, Vegeta," I would say, Ulysses surprised. Veal would get furious and would launch at full speed against Vegeta, hitting in that way in the prince's stomach. "With that you will no longer be able to get up," Veal would tell you, who saw Vegeta very painful. Vegeta, furious, would rise in his form Blue God and expel a huge ki. The prince would throw a huge power at the god. Veal could not believe the size of that power. The destructive god would dodge it for a while, and the power would hit the sacred temple. Ulysses would end the fight since Vegeta had impacted the power in the temple. The rules are clear. The one who impacted a power in the temple should clean all the dust inside. Vegeta would regret it. Although analyzing the fight ended in a draw, Ulysses noted, "It is not fair. My blow was stronger and more devastating." This is how Vegeta would begin to clean up the entire temple that had been dirtied by the impact of that power. For his part, we see that Will would approach Veal. Mr. Veal arrived in China. Veal was surprised. China was a goddess that had recently met Veal and had begun a kind of relationship. "Miss China, Mr. Veal is waiting for you inside the temple," Ulysses noted, which would make the goddess pass. On the other hand, in the temple of Zeno-sama, we see that Goku would arrive along with the guards. Zeno-sama would gladly receive the Saiyan. "How good that you have accepted the proposal, son Goku," Zeno-sama remarked, which would greet him with enthusiasm. "I felt the obligation to come. I know that the position of Grand Priest is a very big responsibility. By the way, Mr. Zeno-sama, how is Grand Priest?" "For now he is fine, out of danger." Goku would approach Grand Priest where he would talk to the Grand Priest. Both Zeno-sama and Grand Priest would give instructions to the Saiyan. Goku was somewhat worried since taking that position would not be an easy task due to the enormous power that Grand Priest possessed. The Grand Priest would tell him not to worry since he should only deal with protocol matters so that the position is not free. Although probably Zeno-sama will tell him some tasks, Goku would feel. This is how the Saiyan would begin with the work. There were days that he had to receive different deities and supreme angels, where everyone would greet and reverence the Saiyan. Goku, being the new Grand Priest, should even order and carry a list of the activities of the Supreme Guardians of Zeno-sama. Goku thought that everything was very strict, but then he would notice in those days that he seemed to take control of everything. The Saiyan, with his way of being, would begin to form a great friendship with the guards who felt a lot of confidence in Goku. Goku frequently visited Grand Priest. The angel would tell him to remember to take the position seriously. "Don't worry, Grand Priest, it's easier than I thought," said confident Goku. In the Temple of Veals, we see that Vegeta was cleaning when he hears strange noises in one of the rooms. Vegeta would open the door and be surprised to see Veals with a woman. "Who gave you permission to enter?" Veal said. Vegeta would apologize and quickly close the door and continue cleaning. At that moment, Whis would arrive, who would tell the Saiyan that he has to warn him of something important. "I noticed something altered. What is it about?" Vegeta noted. "Come quickly," Whis noted. Vegeta would exent. "Who was that guy?" that goddess inquired. "He is a Saiyan. He regularly comes here to train, but he is becoming very annoying and egocentric. He has no respect even for the destructive gods. The goddess would laugh. He seems like a good guy. He was also cleaning the temple. It is what corresponds to him since he launched a power that impacted here and raised dust, dirtying the whole temple. Rules are rules, Veal said. On the other hand, we see that Whis and Vegeta was talking seriously. Something serious seemed to have happened. For its part, we can see that the demon Trax was arriving to planet Earth with the mission to kill Goku before he takes the position of Grand Priest. The demon would begin to look for the Saiyan key, but would not find him. He would go to the places where
I would go to the places where I felt powerful ki to see if Goku was there. The speed of the demon Trex was surprising. This would alert the Z warriors who had felt a strange ki prowling around those places. For its part, Gohan had to give up final subjects for the university. The Saiyan had felt that strange ki, but it would not give it more importance. In a while, Piccolo would call him to go investigate that strange subject. When flying, none could detect it, but at one point the demon would stop. It was there where Piccolo and Gohan would see the demon. The demon continued looking for Goku's ki. "Who do you think that subject is?" Piccolo asked. "He has a very strange and terrifying ki." "I do not know, but I detect a monstrous ki," Gohan noted. "I do not think it is casual that he just came here at the time that Goku was chosen as Grand Priest." "That's right, that must be. Maybe this subject is against those gods." "What do you say, Gohan? Do we face him?" Piccolo asked. "Although I doubt we can beat him." "Not yet. I can notice that the doors of his ship are open. I'm going to try to infiltrate there," Gohan noted. Piccolo would accent. "Go immediately. It seems that he is about to leave when he does not find Goku." This is how Gohan would enter the demon's ship and hide there. The demon was furious at not having been able to find Goku. For his part, Piccolo would try to distract the demon, trying to face him. "Prepare to die, you evil insect." The demon was surprised to see him, since he would notice a considerable ki. Piccolo would throw himself against the demon, but this, with a fast movement, would hit the Namekusei in the neck, leaving him unconscious. Gohan was surprised to see the demon's abilities. The demon would get on the ship and leave there. For his part, Gohan was hidden throughout the trip to find out the plans of that subject. On the other hand, in the temple of Zeno-sama, we see that Goku and the guards was resting. They had taken advantage of the fact that everyone had free time to relax and have fun in the temple. Bullets were heard from the guards and the Saiyan who were in a festive atmosphere. At that moment, Zeno-sama would arrive, who was surprised to see that none were in their work position. Zeno-sama cried out that would wake up Grand Priest. The guards seemed to trust Goku a lot, and now they do what they want. If I'm not ordering them what they have to do, they get distracted easily, Grand Priest thought, which was watching. "I'm sorry, Zeno-sama. We had taken advantage of the fact that the guards and I coincided in our free time, and we wanted to have fun. When I arrived, there was no one guarding the entrance," Zeno-sama remarked, angry.
The guards would apologize to the god. And your Goku is supposed to have a list of the activities of the guards? They think this is a party? Both Goku and the guards would apologize. I will prepare a punishment right away, Zeno-sama would exclaim, which would go. The guards and the Saiyan would go to see Grand Priest. I told them that they must take their work seriously, the great priest would exclaim, which continued something painful. I hope Zeno-sama does not punish us with something serious, Goku noted. Making Zeno-sama angry is very dangerous. I could even order to kill them immediately. Goku and the guards was surprised. Kill us, Goku noted. That was too much, Mr. Grand Priest. They know the rules very well. In fact, if Zeno-sama decides to kill them, they must apologize before their execution and admit that they deserve it. These was speechless before the words of Grand Priest. I'm sorry, it doesn't depend on me, the great priest said, which would continue to rest in bed. This is how Goku and the guards would fear the punishment of Zeno-sama. The god would call them, but for his luck, the punishment would only be to go to look for a special remedy which would allow Grand Priest to fully recover his health. Goku and the guards was relieved of that punishment. So the guards would go with Goku immediately to look for the special remedy which was left in Universe 7. For his part, we can see that the demon Trex would have returned to his home planet. When landing the ship, he would feel some strange noises. He would suspect, since throughout the journey he had felt noises and a strange presence in the ship, which was Gohan. Soldier, check the ship well. I seem to feel some noises in there. Right away, sir. Trex was angry for not being able to exterminate Goku. Surely that guy must have already been named as a great priest. Anyway, without Grand Priest on my way, I will start with the extermination. I wonder what planet I will destroy and absorb first. Suddenly, the soldier would fly out for a power. He would fall with fury against the ground. It was Gohan whom they had discovered. Trex would see the Saiyan. He was surprised to find out that he had infiltrated his ship. Gohan, for his part, could not believe when he felt the immense power of the demon, which seemed to be angry. Damn, they found me, Gohan noted, which would begin to fly to escape. Gohan would begin to lose energy since the planet of that demon was very dense. The Saiyan would feel his body more tired little by little, could not fly in the best way, and would begin to weaken. The demon at great speed would appear in front of Gohan, leaving him surprised. Do you think you can escape easily? The demon remarked. You have come here to die. Gohan would throw himself against the demon, but this with a fast movement would hit the Saiyan in the stomach. Gohan would return that blow by impacting one in the back. The demon was surprised by the attack. Even so, the demon Trex would hit Gohan again, making him fall abruptly. That blow would cause the Saiyan to barely move. This is how several soldiers of the demon would arrive and lock Gohan in a cell. This cell was sealed with a powerful spell created by the demon Trex. Gohan would fall unconscious. When he woke up, he would see the face of the demon Trex who was watching him. I have decided that I will destroy your planet first by infiltrating you in my ship, the demon remarked with a smile. Gohan would try to move, but could barely open his eyes. The Saiyan would fall unconscious again. The demon was watching Gohan. He would feel great power in the Saiyan, so he had planned to sacrifice him to obtain his vital energy. It's a great idea, sir, the special forces of the demon remarked. In the Temple of Beerus, we see that Wesley would inform Vegeta about what happened to Goku. Kakarot, Grand Priest, Vegeta noted, surprised. The Saiyan would not fully understand what Wesley was saying. But that is not the problem. Apparently Gohan, Goku's son, was taken prisoner. I could see it in the scabbard for a few moments. I think they are enemies of the supreme gods. Now I have to go rescue him. You can see the bad father that is Kakarot, and do not worry about his children. I do not forget that Piccolo had to take care of raising him from a young age to the poor Gohan. What happens is that Goku must obligatorily fulfill the position of Grand Priest for explicit orders of Zeno-sama. No more explanations are needed. I will take care of rescuing him. At that moment, Beerus would arrive. What are those screams, Wesley? This is how Wesley would tell the destructive god what happened. Beerus was surprised. I need a ship to go immediately, Vegeta noted. Do not trust Mr. Vegeta. These beings are demons. They have the level of the gods. It could be easily destroyed. Vegeta would get angry with Wesley for not trusting. The Saiyan would enter the ship. Beerus will be better to accompany him. Forget it. Since I got here, he did not stop causing problems. I did not ask for your help, insect, Vegeta noted. Beerus would get angry. Wesley would stop him. This is how Vegeta would go at full speed to try to rescue Gohan. At least I already have something to do. That Beerus was very thin, Vegeta noted. By the way, Whis, why the hell Goku is a Grand Priest? What did I miss these days? It's a long story, sir. That's how the deities was talking while they ate. For his part, we can see that Goku and the guards was on the ship. A planet to buy medicine for Grand Priest. They had taken several hours to visit each place. They are a kind of very strange plants. They must be around here. By the way, they are extremely expensive. You could buy entire palaces with what those healing magical plants cost. We can't waste a lot of time. Grand Priest needs it immediately. I know. You don't have to remind me every minute, the guards remarked, talking. I think I found it, Goku noted. The guards would approach. They look like, but they are not. These plants allow you to mentally travel to another dimension. Maybe I took some since I am here, one of the guards remarked, who would buy several. Goku would continue looking for the medicinal plants. Suddenly the Saiyan would find them. I want to take one of those medicinal plants, Goku noted. The saleswoman would stare at Goku, who was dirty and misaligned. You have to pay for it, the saleswoman inquired. Goku would scratch his pockets, but he had no money. Get out of here, lazy, the saleswoman noted, who thought that the Saiyan wanted to steal it. Goku would leave and return with the guards, who would buy the medicine this time. The saleswoman was surprised to see that they paid with money from the supreme gods. She would apologize to Goku and thank the guards. Having the medicinal plants, everyone was about to return when suddenly they would receive a whistle call which would tell them what was happening to Goku's son. Everyone was surprised. The planet is called R1. It is in the Western Galaxy, Whis noted. Goku would have no choice but to go rescue Gohan. The guards would understand the situation of the Saiyan and would set him free to solve that family matter. On the other hand, the guards would quickly go to the temple to give the medicine to the great priest. Goodbye, they noted, the guards who remarked goodbye to Goku. Wait, I don't know where that screaming planet is, Goku, but the guards would have already left. Goku would regret it. At that moment, the saleswoman would arrive,
who questioned him what was the name of that planet that he should go to. Let's see if I remember it. I think it's called R1, and it's in the Western Galaxy. "You can use my ship," the woman said. "With the money they gave me for those medicinal plants, I can buy 10 new ships." Goku was surprised and thanked that woman. The Saiyan would leave at full speed, although later he would notice that the ship was somewhat obsolete and did not work well at all. On the other hand, we see that Vegeta's ship was close to arriving. The prince would begin to feel a monstrous ki. Who is that guy supposed to be, because I never felt that ki so big? Vegeta would wonder, confused. The Saiyan would notice on his ship that that planet was very far from the center of the galaxy. It practically passed unnoticed for any other habitable planet. The Saiyan would then remember that Bill Swiss had commented that these demon beings mostly inhabited far from any form of life, since they fed on the energy of the destruction of peaceful planets. Vegeta, after several hours, would have located the planet and could even see it on the screen. The prince's ship would begin to have some failures that was quickly corrected by the Saiyan, since he had a lot of experience in piloting ships since he was little. "Come on, you're not gonna fail now," Vegeta noted. "There is very little to go." The Saiyan would notice that there was a smaller planet orbiting around the main planet, which was a kind of habitable moon. "I will go to sleep. I calculate that there are a couple of hours left to arrive. By the way, I don't feel the Kid Gohan. Will he be alive?" The prince would wonder while he rested. On the other hand, we see that the guards would arrive at the temple of Zeno-sama. "Sir, we got the medicine for Grand Priest." "Fantastic," Zeno-sama remarked. "By the way, where is Goku?" God questioned. "I don't know how to explain it, sir," the guards remarked. Goku had to take care of a personal matter. Zeno-sama would get angry. "I made it clear to them that the position as Great Priest is full-time." This is how the guards would explain to Zeno-sama that a being had kidnapped Goku's son, so he had no choice but to go. Zeno-sama would understand. "Well, I hope he's here as soon as possible. Remember that the position of Great Priest cannot be left free. We still don't know the effect that the medicines will do to Grand Priest." "We know, sir. Goku will solve that matter and he will come here as soon as possible. We could not force him to come since it is about his son." On the other hand, we see that Grand Priest that day had relapsed. He had many pains, especially in the back, so it would make it difficult for him to walk. "Take Mr. Grand Priest," the guards remarked, who would give him the plants. "Do you think it is a salad? They must boil it with hot water and prepare it," the Great Priest said. "I'm sorry, Mr. Grand Priest, we didn't know that a broth had to be prepared," the guards remarked, who would prepare the soup. "Do you think, Grand Priest, that will do you good?" Zeno-sama questioned. "I don't know, Mr. Zeno-sama. Supposedly that broth has the qualities of healing gods for thousands of years." Zeno-sama would hurry the guards who had already prepared it. "Be careful, Grand Priest, who can burn," the guards remarked, who would give him the broth. Grand Priest would take it. This would have a surprised face. For his part, we see that Goku was having serious failures with his ship. Demons are close to arriving, but this ship seems to have many failures. It is noticeable that it is old, a piece of junk. In this way, we see that Goku had arrived faster than Vegeta, since he was closer to that planet. Even so, the Saiyan would see that he was running out of fuel in the ship. "Please arrive at once," Goku noted, which could feel Gohan's ki nearby. Goku would do everything possible to land on the planet, but it was impossible for him. The fuel did not give for more. Goku would have no choice but to head for the smaller planet that orbited the main planet, that habitable moon which had a desert environment. The ship would fall abruptly. Goku was very sore from the hard landing. The Saiyan would look up and could see the main planet from there. "Demons, how will I go there? This ship is destroyed," Goku noted, lamenting. Goku would see that some inhabitants were approaching, which would watch him. Goku would consult them if there was a way to go to the largest planet that was next to. The inhabitants would tell him that they did not have a ship that would allow them to travel there. They were not interested either, since that planet was associated with dark forces and demons. Goku would have it clear. The Saiyan would continue to ask since he did not want to be a nuisance to those people, so he would continue walking. The Saiyan was touring the long desert landscapes, thinking of a way to go to the other planet. For his part, we see that Vegeta was about to reach the planet of that demon, when suddenly he feels the presence of Goku. Vegeta was surprised. "I can feel Kakarot's ki nearby, but I noticed that he's not on the main planet. He's on the smaller planet that is next door." The prince noted, feeling Goku's ki. Vegeta would deviate the ship and head where Goku was. The prince would find him quickly. The Saiyan, who was walking quite exhausted, was surprised to see a huge ship above. Goku would not know who he was, but he would greet him when he saw the ship was landing next to him. This is how Vegeta would get off the ship. Goku was surprised to see the prince and hug him. "Take your hands off me, worm," Vegeta noted, ashamed. "I'm sorry, Vegeta," Goku noted. "You have come at the right time." "Did you confuse about the planet? It is the one next to which you should go." "That's right, but the ship ran out of fuel, so I had to land urgently here." "You are lucky that I have come. You owe me one."
Goku would feel and thank the prince. Both would get on the ship where they would talk about Gohan's kidnapping. They would come to a conclusion that this was associated with his new position as a great priest. I know Vegeta. He knew that being in that position was going to bring serious consequences, Goku noted, but he had no choice since it was a request from Zeno-sama. The truth is, I do not know if I will continue in that position since Grand Priest will recover soon. Now the important thing is to rescue Gohan, Goku noted. This is how the Saiyans would go at full speed towards the main planet, which was only 30 minutes away with the prince's ship. For his part, we see that Gohan would listen to the demon and his soldiers about the plans to sacrifice him. When Gohan would hear this, he would wake up immediately. "I listened well, or these subjects plan to kill me for a ritual," Gohan noted, which I would continue to listen to. "When it is full moon, it will be the ideal time for his sacrifice. That way we will obtain all the power of that subject," the demon remarked. 3 days to go for it to be full moon, sir." That ritual was something basic for a demon being who had knowledge of the dark arts. "That subject from the land he captured has a surprising power, sir. Gohan would regret it. Maybe he will die alone here and cannot finish my university career," Gohan noted, which was on his knees. "I hope Goten can finish one day what I could not. My mother's dream was always to receive me from the university with the best grades." Gohan tried to move but made a lot of noise with the chains. He could not touch the bars of the cage since they gave him strong electrical discharges. Suddenly, the Saiyan would feel a known ki. He was surprised. "Is that ki a family member?" Gohan noted which one he was thinking. Who could it be? At that moment, the demon Trex would come. "I have some plans with you," the demon remarked. Gohan, when he saw him, would do the sleep to mislead him. "I could notice that you have a hidden power. You will be very helpful to increase my power." Even absorbing you could save me destroying entire planets for years." Gohan was surprised to hear the words of the demon. The Saiyan would gradually recover his energies. Being there for several hours, his body would get used to it. The soldiers of the demon would eat and drink Gohan so that he does not die until the day of the ritual. Gohan would pretend to be very weak but was recovering his energy level. For his part, we see that Goku and Vegeta would reach the planet of that demon. The ship would have landed without problems, although it would present some failures due to the dark energy that surrounded the planet. Goku and Vegeta would automatically feel that evil energy. "In these planets, there is usually no life," Vegeta noted. "They can be perfect areas for dark beings' bases." Goku would feel, "As soon as we got here, I felt the key of 3 powerful beings. I do not know what these subjects plan, but we must find out, although what I do not finish understanding is what Gohan does here. It is quite clear. They took him as a prisoner. By replacing Grand Priest, it was a matter of time to win enemies." The bodies of both would weaken as soon as they walked a few steps. To all this, they would have completely diminished their ki, so as not to raise suspicions. "I can feel Gohan's ki," Goku noted. "Apparently, he felt our presence, and in this way we could locate him, since they have him locked up somewhere." Goku was surprised by the prince's deduction. Both Saiyans was very exhausted by the density of the planet, so they would fall and remain seated. "I think we should rest a little," Goku noted. "We know Gohan is alive. If we sleep a few hours here, maybe our body will get used to it. It's the only way to recover the energies," Goku noted. The prince would feel, "It is the first time I hear something reasonable from you, Kakarot," the prince noted. Both would sleep lying on the ground under some trees. In the temple of Zeno-sama, we see that the god was playing when both guards come. "Mr. Zeno, Grand Priest took the healing broth." "Fantastic," Zeno-sama remarked. "I am anxious to see if he recovers." Zeno-sama would approach and see Grand Priest, who would get up. "Wow, this really works, although I still have some discomfort." "Keep resting until you are fully recovered. You cannot get up." "Do not exaggerate, sir," Grand Priest said. "I can stand up." "It doesn't matter. You cannot trust yourself. I can notice your energy is low." "You are right, Mr. Zeno. I have not fully recovered yet." Grand Priest said he would return to his bed. "At least I see that the medicine had good effects." Zeno-sama would feel, "The jar says it clearly. It will take a few days for it to work." "That must be," Grand Priest said. "I will rest for a few days and then we will see the results." Zeno-sama would force the guards to also drink the broth out of doubt if they also fell ill. The cure broth ration that was left. "How does it taste?" Zeno-sama questioned. "It is very bitter, Mr. Zeno-sama, but right now I can feel an immense energy flowing through my body. It's incredible," the guards remarked. This is how the Zeno-sama would continue to play while waiting for Grand Priest to recover. By the way, where is supposed to be Goku? Did he manage to rescue his son? Apparently not, sir. We were watching through the binoculars, and it seems that he is in a somewhat critical situation. Keep me informed, Zeno-sama remarked. The guards would feel. In this way, 3 days would pass. On the planet of the demon Trex, we see that Goku and Vegeta would wake up from their long sleep. In this case, Goku was the first to wake up. The Saiyan would worry since he did not know how many days had passed in his long sleep. Did a couple of days pass or a whole month pass? Goku inquired, confused if that is how he was in serious trouble. Goku would worry since he did not feel Gohan's ki. He would wake up Vegeta, who was still sleeping. "Wake up, Vegeta," We have to rescue Gohan immediately, Goku would tell Vegeta by touching his shoulder. Don't bother, Bulma. Later I get up, Vegeta noted, which seemed to be dreaming. Goku would kick the prince, who would wake him up. Vegeta would try to hit Goku for that kick. We fell asleep, Vegeta, Goku noted, worried. It was the best, so our body completely adapted to this world, Vegeta noted, which would shake the clothes that were dirty and full of pastis. I don't know if it was the most convenient. Now I cannot detect Gohan's ki. When we arrived, we could feel his ki. That happens regularly after sleeping. Goku and Vegeta would begin to look for Gohan's ki. At first it was difficult for them to find it. Vegeta would feel Gohan's timey ki again. If my calculations do not fail me, he is 10 kilometers from here. We must hurry before losing his ki again, the prince noted. Goku would feel, now the only problem is that they could easily detect us if we fly. We have no other option, Vegeta noted. We can no longer be hiding. This is how both would load their ki and fly at full speed to where Gohan was. When the moon is in his full phase, the sacrifice of the young will be given, the demon soldier noted, who was washing his hands before the ritual. There was the demon who was watching Gohan. I thought I feared in this instance, the demon Trix said, but I can feel some hope in him. What do you mean, sir? The soldiers inquired, but at that moment, everyone would feel the presence of Goku and Vegeta who were approaching. The elite warriors of the demon would go at full speed towards those two strange beings. The demon Trix would not know who it was. I can feel two considerable presences approaching at full speed, said the demon. Goku and Vegeta would stop the flight when they saw the four soldiers who had intercepted them. Intruders will pay dearly for coming to interfere with Mr. Trix's ritual. Get out of the way if you don't want to die now, Vegeta noted. Who do you think you are to talk to us like that, worm? The soldiers noted. I come in the name of Zeno-sama. I am the new great priest, Goku noted. Shut up, Kakarot. Threatening is not your thing, Vegeta noted. The soldiers was surprised. How the hell did they find us if on this planet we cannot be located? I don't know, but we have to get rid of these subjects. Apparently, they come to rescue the boy. Now I understand why he had that level of power. It doesn't matter. We kill many gods. It won't be a problem to destroy them, the soldiers noted. It is as well as the soldiers would launch against the Saiyans, which would transform into their blue god phase. The difference in power was huge. Goku and Vegeta would defeat the soldiers very easily. The demon Trix was surprised to feel that his servants had been defeated. He would begin to worry and realize that they were not just any subjects. For his part, we see Gohan excited. Fantastic, the Saiyan remarked. I knew it was them. I can feel their presence. The demon would make Gohan shut up with a blast of ki, which would impact the cage. Everyone will die here and now, the demon Trix noted while he saw Goku and Vegeta appear in the distance. The demon was surprised by the level that the Saiyans possessed. Even so, he wondered that it was the ideal time to absorb the power of all together. For his part, we see that Grand Priest, after resting for those 3 days, would have recovered. We see that the Great Priest would put on his suit again. Zeno-sama was happy to see Grand Priest again, who was in perfect condition. That medicine cured me completely, sir. I see. We will try to get more of that plant. It will be very helpful in case someone from here falls into that disease, Zeno-sama remarked. We do not know what threats there are in other dimensions. Grand Priest would feel. By the way, sir, where are Goku and the guards? I want to reward them for helping me.
Goku is solving a family problem, and the guards are guarding the main entrance. Grand Priest Grateful would approach the guards, which would tell them to later attend the banquet of the angels, where they was very well received with all the comforts. "I am indebted to you," Grand Priest said. The guards would thank the Great Priest. "It was not necessary, Mr. Grand Priest. We only fulfilled our work, but we will be delighted to go to that banquet. I am grateful to those who help me. They will always be well rewarded on my part." Zeno-sama would call Grand Priest, who questioned him to see what Goku was doing. Grand Priest would show Zeno-sama. Both would stay watching the movements of the Saiyans. "I am also in debt to Goku," Grand Priest said. For his part, we see that Goku and Vegeta would approach where the demon was, which would begin to lift the cage where Gohan was. "They have come at the right time. The sacrifice of all of you will make me raise my power to unimaginable levels." At that moment, Goku would throw a surprise power at the demon, which would make the cage with Gohan fall abruptly. The demon was surprised by that attack of Goku. Gohan would begin to haunt both Saiyans to defeat him. The furious demon would load a huge ki, leaving the Saiyans surprised, who could not believe the monstrous ki they felt. The expansive wave generated by that ki would make Goku and Vegeta fly through the air. "Until when he will stop raising his ki," Goku noted. Vegeta would take strength, and he would become a blue god. Goku would see the prince, so he would do the same. "These subjects have the ability to awaken a divine ki," the demon wondered. "What kind of gods are these subjects?" The Saiyans would throw themselves against the demon. He seemed to be able to stop the blows of both. Goku would try to throw a fist at his face, but the demon would dodge it at great speed, disappearing from the sight of the Saiyans, who was surprised. He would appear behind him, hitting Goku's back, making the Saiyan fall abruptly, defeated. Vegeta would quickly throw himself against the demon, managing to hit him in the stomach. The demon would get furious and kick the prince, making Vegeta fall against some mountains. Goku would get up and reload his ki. The demon would not understand why those subjects got up so easily. He was sure that that blow had defeated him. Goku would attack the demon again. This time Goku's blows would hit harder, thus managing to hit several times on the face. For his part, Vegeta would also get up. This time he was watching both fight. The fight would become more intense. Both would begin to clash their fists, creating great ki bursts. For his part, Vegeta would try to get Gohan out of that cage with powers, but he could not. He did not want to throw large energy balls, since they could damage Gohan. "I see that it is sealed with some magic power," Vegeta noted, which would hit the cage bars, but they would not receive any damage. "The only way he can get out of here is to defeat that being, and the seal breaks," Gohan noted. At one point in the fight, Goku would turn his back to the demon, expecting Vegeta to throw a power. The demon would try to escape, but he could not. Goku was holding him with all his strength. The prince would feel it, so he would large a huge ball to throw it. "Get out of there, Kakarot," Vegeta noted. "This attack could kill you if you don't run away." "It is the only way to defeat it. I cannot release it," Goku noted, which would continue to sustain the demon. This is how Vegeta would launch a final flash. The demon, seeing the immense power, would release at great speed, so it would hit Goku, making the Saiyan fall abruptly, defeated against the ground. It had been a long time since Goku had not received the impact of such a lethal power. Vegeta would come to think that Goku had died from that attack. The demon would start laughing. My plan worked perfectly. I waited for you to throw that power to then dodge it, the demon remarked. For his part, the deities, which was observing everything, was surprised by what happened. I don't understand, Grand Priest, why Vegeta attacked Goku. Aren't they supposed to be friends? What happens, gentlemen, is that power was aimed at another subject, but he managed to dodge it by impacting Goku in that way, the Great Priest said. Gohan, for his part, seeing that Goku was defeated, would awaken his internal fury. A huge aura would begin to emerge. Vegeta was surprised by the immense ki that Gohan was unleashing. That aura would cause the cage that had him locked to be completely destroyed. The demon could not believe that he had destroyed the cage that was protected by the magical spell. No one had ever done it. Gohan, furious, would launch himself against the demon Trunks, unleashing a great battle in the dark sky of that planet. Vegeta was surprised by the level that Gohan possessed. He would approach Goku, he would notice that his ki was decreasing. Goku, on the other hand, was in a kind of dream. Because the attack would leave him on the brink of death, he would have visions about a luminous tunnel. There he would see unknown beings who had died.
Although he felt peace in that place, his pride, Saiyan, did not allow him to die. He could not leave in that way. Vegeta would try to wake up Goku, since he would know that he was still alive. On the other hand, Gohan and the demon continued to fight. The fight between the two was very even. The demon was surprised to see that Gohan kept that huge kick that he unleashed. Even so, the experience of the demon allowed him to know Gohan's attacks, which had taken him thousands of years of advantage. Gohan would try to hit the demon, but he would dodge it and kick him in the back, causing Gohan to fall abruptly. The furious Saiyan would get up. He would cast a power which would hit the face of the demon. This would fall against some rocks. It was the first time they hit the demon in that way. Gohan would spit blood and throw himself again against the powerful being. The fight would continue very even between the two. We see that Vegeta would see an intense light behind him. Suddenly he would feel that someone was touching his back. The prince would turn his gaze. He was surprised to see that it was Grand Priest. Vegeta was speechless when he saw the Great Priest. "I do not usually intervene," Grand Priest said, "but I owe a great favor to Son Goku." "A favor?" Vegeta inquired. That's right. Goku and the guards had taken care of looking for some healing medicines, so I was in debt with this Saiyan. It is as well as the Supreme Pontiff would place his hands on Goku, which would make the Saiyan fully recover from that attack of Vegeta. Goku would get up and begin to emanate a huge ki, leaving everyone surprised. The demon and Gohan would stop the fight when they saw the powerful aura that Goku was unleashing. Goku was in his Ultra Instinct form. Grand Priest would have returned the favor to Goku, so he would withdraw from there and return to the temple of Zeno-sama. In this way, the demon, seeing that Goku was in that state, would launch against the Saiyan. Goku would dodge it,
The demon could not believe the speed at which the Saiyan was moving. How a mortal can reach the ultra instinct, the demon wondered, which could not believe what he saw. That state is something impossible, even for most of the destructive gods. The furious demon would launch again against Goku, this time impacting him with a blow on the face. He was surprised to see that the Saiyan had not done any damage to him. Goku would observe with an imposing face the demon, which had put a lot of energy in that blow. Goku, at a great speed, would hit a knee in the stomach of the demon. For his part, Vegeta and Gohan would go to look for the ship. The demon would fall to his knees. Goku was furious. He would have decided to kill the demon. He would beg the Saiyan not to kill him. The demon would throw himself to the ground where he could not get up. Goku feels a loud noise above were Gohan and Vegeta with the giant ship. Goku would return to his base state, which would go up to the ship. The Saiyan, when entering, would fall. He was very painful. The demon's attacks had left him without energy. "You have done well to destroy that worm," Vegeta noted. "Vegeta is not dead," Goku noted. "What did you say?" the prince noted. "Don't you know that that subject feeds on destroying planets? From now on, the planets that destroy that demon will run on your own." Goku would laugh. "I don't think so. I'm sure he learned the lesson," Goku noted. Vegeta was furious with Goku for getting close to that demon. A week later, Grand Priest would thank Goku for having taken his place those days. The Great Priest would send him a letter of thanks and an invitation to attend his next big banquet. Gohan, for his part, would return to the studios. He should resort to all the subjects of the year for absent those days. Well, this has been the movie. If you liked it, subscribe and activate the bell to see the next movies on the channel. I am Goku Theories DBS. A greeting.